मावळला एक काळ नवीन वर्षाच्या गोधुळीत, सोडूनी तेज गेला भास्कर स्मृती आणि आठवणीत. अंगुष्ठ्यावरुनी ग्रहणीले पाणी प्रभाकराने त्या, जीवनी सव्यात आली एका अचूक पाणावल्या क्षणात त्या. जीव जीव गेल्यासी माळ मी फिरवितो गुरुमंत्राची, काळ आज तो आला फिरली ती माळ मज दिवाकरासाठी. हिरण्य रेतसाचा अंश आदित्य जीवनाचा आमच्या, शीतल श्याम सोडूनी गेला आकाश आयुष्यात आमच्या. झाकले देव विजल्या वाती प्रभेत गृहगंधात आला, शाश्वत सौरभ सुरासुरात सूर्य सतेज सोडूनी सरला. संचरली जरी विभावरी शीत मंद गरोदर, अविनाश झाली प्रभात अनुभूतीच्या क्षितिजावर. अंत्येष्टी एक अग्नी पिता एक सूर्यवंशी, ज्ञान एक ब्रह्म परमेश्वर एकच ईश्वर. अलंकार एक आठवण श्रृंगार एक अनुभव, धन एक अनुराधा दायित्व एक प्रेम. श्री एक देवश्री मोक्ष एक भक्ती, ग्रंथी एक जीवनी आभास अंतर्ब्रह्मांडाचा. विजय 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 अमर आठवणींचा, विजय 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 सदा शाश्वताचा.
I got to spend a good 2.5 hours with him for lunch. That coincidentally or apparently turned out to be my last meeting with him. How did I know Avinash? In 2007, since 2007 I met this gentleman. He was my client, I was his agency, but never once did I feel that he was my client and I am his vendor. That personality wasn't, his personality wasn't that way, where he would make you feel that you are a vendor and I am a client. Also, I would like to tell you, Avinash, I've always kept you waiting. Even on the day when I met him last, I kept him waiting for half an hour. I turned up late. Today is the first day I've turned up on time. Coincidentally, he's not here, and he used to always ask me when he used to give me a time, Indian Standard Time or Naveen Standard Time, and I would always tell him Indian Standard Time, but always turn up late. You know, we all knew, whoever knew him, that he had a great sense of humor. I'll give you one of those anecdotes. Somewhere in 2007, no, sorry, I got to know him even before 2007, somewhere around 2006. In 2006, there was this movie, knew this director of a movie of Bollywood who directed his first movie, and he had called some of us for the screening. And when he called us there, he said, and he asked us that if you had some friends or family, they could also come in. So I took Avinash and asked him whether he would like to come in, and he said yes. There, during the interval, I introduced him to another guy who was a sound engineer. He's one of India's top sound engineers, called Daman Sood. I introduced them. And after about 5 minutes of speaking, Mr. Daman Sood asked him, "Are you a Parsi?" So he said, "No, why?" I said, You look like one." He said, "Thank God you didn't say I speak like one." So that was him, you know, he was extremely witty. And he had a sense of, he had this laughter which came from his heart. Irrespective whether you understood the joke or you're mentally not present there when the joke was cracked, you looked at him laugh and it was so contagious that you would laugh with him. I had read about, I think, one of our ex-cricketers, whether it was Jatin Paranjpe or Milind Rege, mentioned that his laughter was very, very contagious. And so very true. Whoever knew him knew that you would laugh with him. You know, I lost my mom about 3 years ago, in Jan 2021. Lost a couple of friends, some close relatives. But never did I ever feel this void that I felt after reading Chaitanya's message to me that dad passed away. We didn't meet for the last few years very often. There were times when we used to meet 5-6 days a week. He connected about 2 months ago. We started meeting more often, started talking more often. And that was it. On the 1st of January, he called me on my birthday. And he had this very inimitable style. I never liked my surname. I am Naveen D'Souza. My surname is D'Souza. I never really liked my surname because Catholics met D'Souza, Fernandez, and common hota. But he had this very inimitable style to call me and greet me. I would just say that. So he would call me and say, "Hello, Mr. D'Souza. How are you doing, my friend?" And I would say, "I'm doing fine, Mr. Karnik." And of course, I normally call him Avinash. I'm never going to hear that greeting again. But yes, until we meet again, Avi, this time, I'll make sure that the cheese pasta is going to be on me. Thank you.
Friend Sunil Gavaskar has come, who is responsible for laying the foundation stone of this building. And Avi Karnik was the one who got him here. It is hard to believe that Avi is no longer with us. We have been friends for a number of years, even before this building came up or this club. Not the club, but I think about 94, 95, or even before that. And we were playing in the lower division. So there were two people responsible for bringing the club up to the A division. One was Marshall, that is V.S. Patil of the other union, and second was Avi Karnik. And they used to come here, give us the practice, they used to give especially fielding practice. And V.S. Patil, who was called as Marshall, used to even come and bowl in the nets. And Sunil, you may be remembering that small little ground, and you played that single wicket tournament, and you wanted to play against your own son, because you wanted to teach him a lesson. These are the past stories. And we got Sunil also very sort of luckily, because we thought we had a very big gentleman here, Senapati, Sir Senapati of Shiv Sena. I wanted to invite him to be the preside over the function, and Sharad Pawar was powerful in cricket, so we could invite him for laying the foundations. I went to Mr. Thackeray and requested him. He said that time the elections were announced, and the Achar Sanhita, their code of conduct. So he said, "You want me to तेरे पत्थर देखने में आओ या मैं election संभालो?" So Manoj Joshi was, he said, "Praveen, you go, I will convince him." But we took that opportunity to calling a cricket legend called Sunil Gavaskar. So me and Avi were responsible in calling him. So Avi's contribution is not only for building this club, but also for getting the club to A division. And very first year, we were till B division. Avi played for MIG. A division आल्यावर दादूंनी गुगली टाकला आणि Avila परत नेलं. Because they were scared that if Avi plays for this thing, the other union had no chance. And Vasu, Paranspe, Marshall, सगळ्यांनी मला उल्लू बनवला, and Avi played for us. And very first year, the year we enter, Salin Dathar is here, we are about to be champion. And Ravi Shastri was CCI captain. ये आणि सुनील सण अरे आपण जित्या तो सुनीलला आमचा एक शेट्टी म्हणून होता ए बाबांना विचारून येता दे लॉस द गेम दे डिक्लेअर्ड अँड द वे वी वन द मॅच दातार वॉज देअर अँड we were trying for the championship and Dadar came, MIG was in good form and Marshallला माहिती होतं काय weaknesses हे ते वगैरे आणि we played against that particular match they had 28 players. We played the match at Wankhede and very first ball our Rajesh Sanil trapped leg before and then Chandu and Satish Samant, he is also here. We led the Nadrian team आणि बोंबाबोंब झाली. इकडे एक पत्रकार आहे त्यांनाही माहिती आहे. We lost because we had to win the game. We wanted to score fast. So after that first wicket, Chandrakant Pandit and Satish Samant doom. Lunchला आम्ही जोरात चाललो होतो. पण त्यानंतर किरण मोका she used to be there, one of the star bowler. त्यांनी हे टाकलं आणि आमचाच एक क्रिकेटर पियुष चौनजी वॉज प्लेईंग फॉर दादर इंडियन त्यांनी एक कॅच घेतला सतीशचा आणि विवेर बंड मोकाशीने 6 विकेट काढला आणि अवीज कॅप्टनशिप वॉज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर सेव्हिंग दादर. बोमामो काय झाली MIGने मॅच दिली. MIGने काही मॅच दिली नाही. आम्ही चॅम्पियन होते खाली जाणार होते बट दे अवी वॉज रिस्पॉन्सिबल इन सेव्हिंग दादर इंडियन फ्रॉम गोईंग डाऊन टू द नेक्स्ट डिव्हिजन रादर रिलिगेशन. So that was Avi and of course then we got lot many players playing for us. Deepak is here, Chandu was there and we did a lot of good things.
And we became, I don't know because I didn't play cricket, but just when you look at Avi, you know, you being a warm and affectionate person, you feel for him, you feel that he should be your friend. And I'm really blessed that I have a friend like him. And since then, we have been together. We pursued our BSc. I was staying in the hostel and he used to come riding on the bicycle. We used to study together. And after late night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, he would say, Pradeep, just come on, let's go and have coffee or maybe kulfi. He is the person who introduced kulfi to me. And I can boast that the time I have spent with him, in moving with him at different places, I don't think even his family members would have done that. Anywhere he wished to go, he used to always call, मी जरा फोर्टमध्ये चाललो आहे, एक 20 मिनिटात पोहोचेन, खाली ये. And then just go with him, have a wonderful time. As everybody stated, whenever he is with you, you are full of energy because he is energy, he is vibrant and he creates an impact on any person you meet. As somebody stated, like, you know, he didn't bother whether it was a waiter or a doorman or anything, everybody was close to him. Even when we used to go to a restaurant and when he used to be asked, which would you like, have Bisleri water? Then he would ask the waiter, तुम्ही कुठलं पाणी पिता? तर सर आम्ही इकडचंच पितो. तुम्हाला काही झालंय? नाही. मग आम्हाला काय होईल? आम्हाला टेस्ट द्या. आणि had a very simple one. म्हणजे you know, yesterday my son and daughter from USA, they called. And they also felt like, you know, we have lost some family member. He was so close. Whenever he used to come to the house, you know, that house used to be filled with vibrance and energy. He would constantly keep on pulling legs, do something or the other, and keep everybody in high spirits. And it's really very difficult when I came and met Anu today, because even after his demise, and after the cremation period, I could not go and to his residence, and I apologized to Anu and said that kindly excuse me, I am going to take a lot of time to bear with this because it's an association of us last 55 years and it was never that we were not together. Anywhere, even when I had a back pain and I was to go for a MRI, and as Maya and myself and my wife were there, he would daily ask what is happening and all that thing, and then said I have to go for MRI. He immediately told, Ashwini, you're not going alone, I am coming, I'll be taking him. And he would be with me anywhere you go, he was always there. Just some few months back, before we had been to Srinagar, was to go to my son in Seattle, and in the evening he called, प्रदीप कसा चाललायस? म्हटलं काही नाही, उबर बोलवणार आणि जाणार. कोण येते बरोबर? अरे म्हटलं खूप लेट फ्लाईट आहे, त्यामुळे मी एकटाच असणार. नाही नाही, एकटाच असा. अरे कोणीतरी तुला बाय म्हणायला पाहिजे ना, असं करतो. मी येतो. अरे म्हटलं अवी खूप उशीर जाईल, मला वेळेचा फरक नाही पडत. ही केम and it was raining heavily that day, and along with my wife we went. He saw me off, and then once again my wife told him that you drop me at the bridge, I'll take a taxi. म्हणे वेट लागले काय तुला टॅक्सी बिक्सीचं मी असताना? and that was अवी. की तुम्ही जस्ट हाक मारा, अवी आलाच पाहिजे. त्याच्यासारखा इतका चांगला मित्र, म्हणजे आम्ही MIG मध्ये यायचो. आज अनफॉर्च्युनेटली आमच्याबरोबर डॉक्टर दिघे, एक्स रेजिस्ट्रार ऑफ मुंबई ऑफ युनिव्हर्सिटी, आम्ही इथे भेटायचो. ते MIG मध्ये आम्ही अवीबरोबरच यायचो होतो. आणि एक डॉक्टर सुनील शिंदे, म्हणजे त्यांचे आमचे मित्र, आमचे शिंदे सरांचे आवर एक्स प्रिन्सिपल. आणि अवी सगळ्यांचाच आवडता, अतिशय लाडका. म्हणजे शिंदे सरांचा तर काही विचारूच नका. तो म्हणजे ते रिटायर झाल्यावरती सुद्धा आम्ही एकदा त्यांच्याकडे गेलो होतो, आणि तो इतकं त्यांनी व्हायब्रन्स आणि एनर्जीने त्यांचं घर भरून गेलं होतं. मिस्टर आणि मिसेस होते. शेवटी जाताना मिसेस म्हणाल्या, अवी खरं सांगू का, खूप खूप दिवसांनी भरपूर हसले मी आज. दॅट वॉज हिज कॅरेक्टर. तो कधीही तुमचं मूड गेलेला आहे आणि त्यांनी तुमचं मूड लिफ्टअप केलं नाही, असं कधीच होणार नाही. तो म्हणजे त्याच्याबद्दल म्हणजे आता हे विजय चौगुले जे इथे बसले आहेत, म्हणजे आम्ही लहानपणी, कॅन यू इमॅजिन, आम्ही फिॲटमध्ये, मी, माझी बायको, 2 मुलं, अवीची बायको आणि त्याची 2 मुलं, आम्ही फिॲट घेऊन इकडनं गोव्यालाच गेलो होतो. आणि विजयकडे त्यांनी जेवायला बोलवलं, आम्ही त्यांच्याबरोबर गेलो. आणि द वे आय फाउंड, बिकॉज चौगुले म्हटल्यावरती थोडंसं तर वाटतं ना, इज अ बिग इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, बट इज सो डाऊन टू अर्थ. आणि त्यांची जी मैत्री बघितल्यावर म्हटलं, अभि अरे नाही रे, विजय एकदम वेगळा आहे. म्हणजे यू डोंट बॉदर अबाउट वेदर ही इज अ इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट नॉट, ही इज अ डाऊन टू अर्थ पर्सन. बट दॅट इज द वन. म्हणजे त्यांना जितकं विजयबरोबर तो आरामात होता, तेवढाच आरामात तो त्यांच्या कुठल्याही कर्मचाऱ्यांबरोबर व ते कुठेही असू शकत होता. म्हणजे त्याचं जे काय कॅरेक्टर आहे ना, असं मिळणं फार कठीण आहे. आणि त्या दिवशी मला रात्री जेव्हा फोन आला आणि अनु म्हणाली, प्रदीप युअर फ्रेंड इज नो मोर. मला वाटलं फ्रेंड म्हणजे कोण असणार. म्हटलं काय म्हणते कोण? अरे अवी इज नो मोर. मी कधी विचारच करू शकलो नाही की अवी जाऊ शकतो. आय डोंट नो, आय हॅड अन फीलिंग की प्रॉबेबली ही इज इमॉर्टल, ही हॅज टू बी ऑलवेज विथ मी. आणि मला त्याचा भयानक म्हणजे खूपच त्रास होतो. आय एम स्टील नॉट आउट ऑफ इट. मला ते घरी बसल्यावरती सगळं जाणवतं, आणि त्याच्यामुळे खूप त्रास होतो आहे की ह्या माणसाबरोबर आपण जे आयुष्य घालवलं. म्हणजे आमचं इतकं होतं की रविवारीच मी त्याला फोन केला होता. म्हटलं अरे अभि खूप दिवस झाले रे, आपण म्हणतोय भेटायचं आहे. म्हटलं खूप दिवसांनी वडापाव खाल्लेला नाही. आता ते कीर्ती कॉलेजच्या इकडचं मी वडापाव त्याच्याबरोबरच खायचो, आणि तो यायचा, कुठेतरी घेऊन जायचा, आणि मग अरे आता कुठे जेवायचं, काय करायचं. त्याचा 2 आवडीचे ठिकाणं होते. एक बॅलाटी स्टँडमध्ये एक भेळवाला होता, आणि दुसरा हा अशोकचा वडापाव. मग त्याला सांगितलं आम्ही वडापाव खाऊया. ठीक आहे, वडापाव खायचं. आणि कधी त्याला त्याचे टेस्ट फार असे सुप्रीम होते, हेच पाहिजे तेच पाहिजे, काही नाही. आणि मला जितकं जमलं, मी खरं सांगतो, मी त्याचे लाड केले. त्याला खूप गोड आवडायचं. म्हणजे आय एम सॉरी, मला तेव्हा माहीत नव्हतं की ते त्यावेळेस तिचे कधीच तो टेस्टिंग वगैरे करायचा नाही, डायबिटीसचा होता. पण काही केलं की आम्ही घरी मी केलेलं आहे की लगेच येणार, ही इज टू एन्जॉय. म्हणजे त्याच्याबरोबर जे घातलं ना, यू कॅन इमॅजिन, इट्स 55 years and इट्स नॉट सो इझी. आणि त्याचा ते जे काय स्टेंट झालं तेव्हापासून थोडं, कारण त्यांनी आयुष्यामध्ये खूप अप्स अँड डाऊन्स बघितले, खूप वरची पण लेवल बघितली आहे, खूप खाली त्याची फॅक्टरीचं ह्याचं त्याचं, पण तुम्ही त्याला भेटल्यावरती कधीही जाणवणार नाही की अवीला काहीतरी होतंय, काहीतरी झालंय. इट इज जस्ट इम्पॉसिबल फॉर अस. आणि त्याच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये म्हणजे आम्ही तेव्हा क्रिकेट त्याचे मॅचेस बघायला जायचो. आजकाल कोणी कॉलेजचे मॅचेस बघायला जात नाही, पण आम्ही जायचो. आणि रुपारेलतर्फे आणि सुनील गावस्करजी झेवियर्सतर्फे. मला ती अजूनही मॅच डोळ्यासमोर येते की ज्यावेळेस सुनील गावस्करजी रणजी ट्रॉफी खेळायला त्यांना पुण्याला जायचं होतं आणि रात्री संध्याकाळी 5:10ची डेक्कन क्वीन पकडायची होती आणि ती स्कोरिंग फास्ट करायचा प्रयत्न करत होते. आणि आमची टीम कॅप्टन अविनाश कर्णिकच मला वाटतं होते, ते असे काही टॅक्टिक्स टाकत होते की सुनीलला जास्ती बॉल खेळायला मिळू नये वगैरे. ह्या गोष्टी त्याच्याबरोबरच्या आहेत ना, मी नाही विसरू शकत. आणि अत्यंत सोजू म्हणजे खूपच म्हणजे तुम्ही त्याला कधी तो यू विल नॉट इमॅजिन. एकदा असंच मला आणि दिघे सरांना म्हणजे त्याची जी क्वालिटी आहे की मला घ्यायचं दादरवरनं आणि दिघे सर आमच्या राहायचे ठाण्याला त्यांना पिकअप करायचे आणि मग जायचं. सोलापूरला सुद्धा गेला होता, तिथे काय त्याचं कंपनीचं काम होतं, घेऊन जाणार आम्हाला तिकडे. मेढ्याला चैतन्य जेव्हा त्याचं घर बांधत होता आणि काही छोटंसं काम असायचं तर आम्ही फोन करणार प्रदीप चल. ते तर झालं. आम्ही कॉलेज डेमध्ये त्याची स्कूटर होती, माझी स्कूटर होती. इतकं फिरलो आहे की कुठेही जायचं झाली ते स्कूटरने जायचं, त्याच्याबरोबर सिनेमे बघितले. आणि हे सगळं असं मेमरी लेननं डाऊन येते आणि मग त्रास होतो की अरे हा आपला एवढाच जवळचा मित्र नाही आज. आणि कधी कधी वाटतं तो बऱ्याचशा नवीन गोष्टी काहीतरी करत होता. मी त्याला नेहमी सांगतो आम्ही लहानपणापासून जे तू करत आलाय तेच कर. आणि ॲज अ व्हेरी सिनियर पर्सन आय विल जस्ट रिक्वेस्ट ऑल दी सिनियर सिटीजन, प्लीज डू नॉट स्टार्ट एनिथिंग अनन्यू. इट्स नॉट ॲडवायजेबल. जे आपण लहानपणीपासून करत आलो आहे, खात आलो आहे ना, तेच खावं. ते हेल्दी बिल्डीच्या ह्याच्यात काही करू नये. हे माझी सिन्सिअर तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना अपील आहे. पण माझा मित्र बिचारा गेला आणि फार वाईट परिस्थितीत गेला आणि आय डोंट नो ते काय एक्झॅक्टली त्या इश्यू झालं आणि ते कळणारही नाही, त्याचा उपयोगही काहीच नाही आहे आता. बट आय लॉस्ट हिम. आय हॅव लॉस्ट अ व्हेरी व्हेरी डिअर फ्रेंड. Only I would say, and always I will say, I will never forget him till my last breath. And he was the friend which everybody should have. असा मित्र प्रत्येकाला मिळावा ही खरंच मनापासून परमेश्वराकडे प्रार्थना करेन. ही वॉज वन अँड ओनली. इट वॉज ओनली अविनाश कर्निक. असा मी नाही माणूस बघितलेला. आणि फक्त आता एवढं म्हणू शकतो. आता मला तिकडे जाऊन त्याचं फुलं टाकणं वगैरे नाही जमत आहे. मी मिसेस म्हणाले आपण जाऊ, म्हटलं मी नाही करणार अशी काहीतरी फुलं त्याच्यावरती. आय फील स्टील दॅट ही इज अलाइव्ह. आणि खरंच म्हणजे ओनली आय कॅन से दॅट जो कुठे तिथे असेल तो आनंदात असेल, तिकडे सगळ्या लोकांना हसवत असेल, सगळ्यांचे स्पिरिट्स खूप हाय नेत असेल आणि तसंच त्यांनी राहावं. आणि आय अंडरस्टँड त्यांच्या फॅमिलीला इतकं सोपं जाणार नाही आहे. आणि अनु इज गोइंग टू हॅव अ रिअली टफ टाईम की जरा थोडे दिवस गेल्यावरती. बट द शो हॅज टू गो ऑन आणि आपल्याला पुढे जायचंच आहे. अँड आय विश की चैतन्य आणि देवश्री दोघंही माझे विद्यार्थीच होते आणि त्यांना खूप बळ मिळावं की यातनं सगळं बाहेर येऊन ते दोघंही छान आहेत, वेल सेटल्ड आहेत. अवी वॉज व्हेरी लकी टू हॅव सच वंडरफुल चिल्ड्रन. आणि सगळ्यांचं चांगलं चाललं आहे. आणि आय ओनली प्रे दॅट इज सोल रेस्ट इन पीस. आणि खूप म्हणजे आय रिअली मिस हिम आणि आय एम गोइंग टू मिस हिम. थँक्यू.
I know him as my friend, and more than a friend, I know him as a family member. Because only in the family member you can get close, and when you get into close with a family member, then you can give him all kind of galis, right? तर मुंबईमध्ये मी मुंबईचं नाही, तर मुंबईचं एक कॅरेक्टर आहे मुंबईचे क्रिकेटरचं, काय म्हणतात ते खडूस लोक असं, right? So Avinash is was. I could say that thing on his face because I consider him as a family. I've never seen such a chicken cricketer in my life. But that is not me. I don't know him as a cricketer. I know him as my family, and I'm a member of this family, Karnik family. Why do I know him as a physician? Because he's the only guy I know. He never said no to anything. He's the only guy I know that when you ask him to want to do something, he'll do it for you, right? And at the end of the day, we'll have great fun, go have a drink, and right. I'll come back to his last word afterwards when we move away. But one bad habit he had, which I can't forget. Thursday he never ate other than what? French fries, no? चावना खेकडे आणि फ्रेंच फ्राईज. अरे बाबा मॅच चाललंय, लंच चालू, मी चाललोय लंचला, काय करायचं? नाही फ्रेंच फ्राईज खाणार. तर आणि आम्ही काय करणार मग तुझ्याबरोबर? फ्रेंच फ्राईज आम्ही सर खातो. ओके, सो दिस इज वॉट. बट मजा केली. आय हॅड ग्रेट फन विथ हिम अँड आय मिस हिम. लाईक सर सेड, he was to me my dearest friend. My sticker also. So his last words, you know what his last words were? Whenever you said, "Chala, ठीक है, चलो जाओ."
Namaskar. What does one say on an occasion like this? Nothing really comes to mind, because the news itself was so stunning. I was in South Africa, and when I got a message from Dr. Ajit Desai, and it was extremely hard to come to grips with the information. It was very difficult to even think that such a thing had happened. We know it happens, but to somebody who was always the life of the party, somebody who had so much of energy, it was very, very, I mean, it was impossible to digest. Avi and I, even before the Nirlong period, Avi and I, we were teammates for Bombay University, and I've known him since that time. We played a lot together for the other union after that. And the one thing that always struck me about his cricket was his full-hearted participation in it. He wasn't afraid to stand at forward short leg, which without any protective gear, no helmet, nothing, no thigh pad, no shin pads, nothing. And he got hit over there quite a few times. Luckily nothing on the head, on the body. But he took the blows, and he would be the first one to say to the bowler not to worry. Because the bowlers get worried in case, a fielder is injured of their bowling. And he'd be the first one to say, and when it was his batting, he would bat so well, he'd bat brilliantly, 60, 70, 80, without seeming in any trouble. And then, without any real reason, like not a good delivery or a bad decision by the umpire or a freakish catch by the fielder, he would get out. And that's exactly what seems to have happened. there's nothing wrong with him. And suddenly, his life's innings, came to a close, just like when we were batting together. Often, in between overs, when you go and talk to each other, trying to encourage each other, I used to always tell him, concentrate on, keep going. We can get more runs, keep going. And he would not. And then, he would then play his, unorthodox shots. And if from the non-strikers end, I sort of shook my head. He would just smile, and of course, when that smile came, there's nothing that you could do. One of the things that he used to always tease me about was the fact that I was the captain. We were teammates for Mumbai University. I was the captain of the team playing in the inter-university. We were playing inter-university cricket. We had played the West Zone. In those days, it was on zonal basis. We had finished in the West Zone. We had won the West Zone, and now we had qualified for the knockouts for the All India Rohinton Baria Trophy. Just then, in between that period, before we went to the Rohinton Baria Trophy, I got the information that I was selected to play for India in the West Indies. It was fantastic. I was overjoyed. And I got calls from everybody, everybody. And I was preparing to go to Voltaire. I'll never forget that as well, Voltaire. Now I believe it's called Visakhapatnam, but in those days it was called Voltaire. And the inter-university knockouts were in Voltaire. But just before I went over there, I got a call from the then BCCI secretary telling me that I should go and play a couple of benefit matches which were being played in Guntur and Vijayawada. I tried to tell the BCCI secretary, listen, please, my team, I'm the captain of the team, and I need to go and play in the knockouts. That's more competitive than playing a benefit match. Benefit match, there's a lot of fun and games. Nobody is really very serious. Even if you get out, people call no ball at the last moment. If the crowd has come to see you bat, even if you're clean bowled, umpire calls no ball. All those kind of things happen. On the other hand, inter-university knockout cricket would have been where we were looking to win the trophy. But I was told by the secretary, Sunil, and I was not even an India player. I had just been selected to play for India. I had not even gone to the West Indies. West Indies was still a few weeks away. And I was told, Sunil, you don't know BCCI, what happens in BCCI. So I said, what happens in BCCI? He said, don't displease the South Block. So I said, how am I displeasing the South Block? I'm going to play university cricket. I'm not refusing to play this. I'm only going to play, what is representative cricket, not a benefit charity game. But he prevailed upon me. And so, as youngsters can sometimes be pressurized maybe. So I fell for that. And I did not go and play for Mumbai University. Mumbai University lost in the finals. And Avi never forgave me for that. And I think forgive me is probably a strong word. But he every time we met after that, he would turn around and say, "Yeah, you let us down. You should have played. You let us down." I tried to explain to him, and the others also. There were a lot of Mumbai University cricketers then. But I tried to explain that, look, this was it. This was what happened. But Avi always, used to pull my leg about that for quite some time, even till recently. Every time we would meet and suddenly the inter-university topic would come up, he would say that. Similarly, you mentioned, sir, about the match against Ruparel College, St. Xavier's. Yes, Avi was trying his best to sort of delay the bowling. He was the captain of the team. He's trying his best to sort of delay the proceedings so that there wouldn't be that many overs bowled. And even that is something which he used to tease me about, because I got stumped of Dilip Mullerkar, who was, you know, the Dusra and the other, the Jadugar bowler, you know, who I wasn't able to pick. And I went for a drive, missed the ball, and I was stumped. My St. Xavier's college.
You were his most favorite cricketer.
Yeah.
I can assure you.
So, St. Xavier's College teammates also have not sort of let me forget that. And I always tell those St. Xavier's College teammates also, because we went on to lose the game. Ruparel had batted first, we were chasing some total. And I tried to explain to them that, look, I got out at 3:30 something in the afternoon. The Deccan Queen was at 5:05. No, 5:05. And we were at Azad Maidan. So it is just a walk to the station. So if I had to get out deliberately, as they kept on accusing me that I got out deliberately, I could have got out at 4:30 and still caught the train. I could have batted for an hour. I said, try and give credit to Dilip Mullerkar, who bowled such a good delivery, and you know, I wasn't able to pick it. But that's how you know, things pan out in life. Sometimes, you know, you tend to look ahead, and you know, the man above has different ideas. I know that we are all, at least we are all in the departure lounge, just awaiting the signal. We don't know. For some of us, like Avi, the flight might be announced very immediately. Some of us, it might be a delayed flight. But if we can try and have the same zest for life that Avi had, as you said, you know, going on a scooter every single time, you know, long distances he would travel. If you can have the same zest for life, I think we'll have lived well. Avi went early, but he lived a full life. And for that, we must be grateful to God for giving him the opportunity to live a full life. And for giving us so much with his friendship. So may I please offer my sincere condolences to the family. Words are small consolation at times like this, but I do hope that you have the strength to bear this loss. And remember that Avi would have, like he did, like he always did, Avi would want you to keep on smiling, even at the most adverse of times. May his soul rest in eternal eternity.
I'm actually Avi's son-in-law. We call him Grandpa fondly. Devashri and I were courting at the time, and I was studying in Vellore, and I told him, listen, India's playing the finals in Bombay. India's playing the world. Yeah, we'd gotten into the finals, and I was studying in South India. And I said, we need 2 tickets. And he said, I'll give you mine, and I will get another from someone else. And that's how we managed to watch India win the World Cup. So I've always been eternally grateful to him for giving us so much joy. The one thing that constantly reminds me of him is his availability. He was always not only affable but always available. Whenever we needed something done at home, he was always there. He would take the kids to swimming. He would take the kids to the garden. He was extremely fond of his grandchildren. He would allow for them to tie ponytails on his head. They would don him. We have 2 girls. They're both sitting here. They would don him in makeup right from head to toe. They would put on funny clothes on him, and he would indulge them completely without getting flustered, without getting irritated, without getting at all impatient with them. He was extremely kind, extremely humble. He used to find stuff to fix around the house. If he went to fill water and the water filter wasn't working, he would go to the corner store, get something, fix it. He was very, very handy. And anytime you called him for anything, he was always available. And that's what I really remember extremely fondly of him. Whatever we love is irreplaceable, but it eventually is lost. The only regret I really have, and most of us will do, is that we don't get a chance to tell the people we love how much we really love them when they're alive. We take it for granted that they know, that they understand, that they are part of our inner circle. We don't need to really verbalize these things. We don't need to tell them that they're kind. We don't need to tell them that we were grateful for what they did. We assume those things, and that's the only real regret that I have, is I didn't tell him, except for several thank yous for everything he did. I didn't really tell him how much he meant to the well-being of our family, to be a support system for us, for the children. We can probably take salvage in the fact that every mortal loss in some sense is an immortal gain, and the heavens above are happier than we are below. But the definition of success is not in what you've achieved or the awards that you've won or the amount of money you've made. It's in the way you've lived in the hearts of people. And from all these stories that we've heard today, Devashri and me have not met with so many of you, and he's impacted so many such lives without even the immediate family being aware of it. And that, in my opinion, is in some sense true success, is being able to live on in the hearts of people, for people to be able to talk about you long after you've gone. It's ironical that he passed away in this very club that was so dear to him, and in some sense it was part of a greater plan. He never was the one to give sermons. He never preached. He never, some of us have this ability to go on talking without really doing stuff. He was more of a doer, and in some sense his swift passing away helps us learn a little bit about ourselves as well, as to who we are and what we should strive to be as human beings. So he was always funny. He was always cracking jokes. He used to always scare people from behind. He would, I believe, like to be remembered that way. And like I told the family, that instead of mourning his life, we should smile about it, we should celebrate it, we should really live it up to the fullest for his sake, because that's the way he would have liked it.
Marshall, Major and me, all four of us, we spent a lot of time together, which I will cherish for the rest of my life. Our trip to Yosemite National Park, when you visited me in the US, you have been a great asset to the other Union team for many, many years. Your hard-hitting bowlers of any kind will be long remembered. Your fielding at gully or extra cover was superb. We've been friends for a very long time, and I will cherish the same for the rest of my life. I'll never forget your laughter and humongous approach with all of us. Avi, you are in a better place and we pray forever for you. Om Shanti, Urmi, Madhu and all the Modi family.
I played with Avi at Other Union. Like everybody said, Avi was Other Union. He used to be the first person who used to come, and he had the responsibility of getting Patil sir, and he used to have the kit. The Other Union kit would be in his car, and I don't remember a single match that he has not been there. Be it youngsters, be it anybody, the first person who would make you comfortable was Avi. And I think he's seen so many of us, join the Other Union and grow under his wings. I think, like everybody said, he was on the field. He used to bring, the laughter. He used to the tense moments. You just look at him and he would calm you down. So we are going to miss him. Sincere condolences to the Karnik family.
Suresh Shastri. I know Avi right from the school days. I was in school. Our practice used to be at Matonga, New Hind, and the other end used to practice at the other end. That was always in the morning. Even Sunil used to come sometime. But when our practice used to be there in New Hind, our coach, Mr. Achrekar, always used to ask me, go and bowl to Avi and Sunil in the net. That's how we learned how to bowl to the better batsmen. And as far as I know, Avi was Dada of gully fielding. In the gully, he was just Dada, I can say. I have seen him taking brilliant catches in the corner lawn, especially one catch in the bowling of Karsan Gowri of Brijesh Patel at Parsi Gymkhana. That was unbelievable. And fortunately or unfortunately, last time I met him, that was in the same club during my son's wedding reception. He came along with Vijay Chogle only. So I will miss him and I will remember him. He was really happy-go-lucky person. Everybody. Avi was a very good cricketer, and cricket means a gentleman. He was a true gentleman. He has never shown that whenever he helped us, whenever he was, I can't have a word for him, and I was in tears when I heard this thing. From my childhood, he was my hero. I used to call him my hero, and whenever the Dadar Union match played at Islam Gymkhana or any other Gymkhana, I used to always go to him, close to him, and it went on like that. And whenever at Islam Gymkhana, the Kadar Bhai Khima used to like him. So Avi was from that day. Then we came towards MIG. The MIG has been built up, and no doubt MIG today, what is today MIG Cricket Club, he was I think the pillar with Barwe and all the other members to get things done, to see that the cricket team from lower level to A division. And Avi was such a quiet supporter, and when I was contesting my election in MC also, he was so quietly used to come and support me, tell all the mostly voters that Nadeem is doing good job in Maidans, you should help him. He was such a nice guy. And BKC is now, today also we find there is a Ranji Trophy match going on, and we missing Avi Karnik there, because he is the person who really loves cricket and he loves to help people, and then also cricketer, but he never showed anybody that what Avi was. I think the family needs the condolence, and what I can say, because Avi was a real gentleman, he helped us, and I think this is the biggest loss to Mumbai Cricket Association also, because he was such a gentleman and always helpful,
to any cricketers also, whether it's any team or any club or anything, and always quietly used to help. I've seen so many times that he helps so many young cricketers, giving him bats. I think his friend also must be not knowing about, his family also not knowing. He should call me and say, you help him, nothing will do. So this kind of person is suddenly shortcut हो गया है और इतना बड़ा नुकसान मेरे लिए तो बहुत है कि actually I should call him really a big hero. And in cricket we must be having like Sunil Gavaskar sir है, कपिल देव सर है, but हमारे मुंबई के अंदर मेरे को अभी कहा कि मेरा हीरो था, वो अभी इस दुनिया में नहीं रहा. I am very sorry and I am also can't take it easily. So condolence to the family and God bless. Thank you.
I had a privilege of playing with Avinash Karnik for both MIG and Dadar Union. And in the capacity of being Dadar Union's coach and manager now, we used to interact quite often. He used to ask me about Dadar's progress and I used to tell him that, sir, I'll try to see that Dadar is back to its past glory. And I had promised him that we'll see that Dadar will become a strong force. And recently Dadar has started showing that when we, in fact the club which Avinash Karnik was involved, MIG is a formidable force. We happened to beat Dadar in MIG in Police Shield very formidably and also in Comrade Shield. So we are on the path of getting Dadar back to what it is. I will try my best, and on behalf of Dadar Union, I'd like to express the sincere condolences to Avinash Karnik's family. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
It was Ria Poddar Intercollegiate Final at Brabant Stadium in early 70s, where I first saw Avi batting and smashing Ria bowlers. I never thought that in my later years I would get an opportunity to bat with him or to be his captain and a business partner. It was truly a long innings and association with Avi and his lovely family. We spent a lot of time discussing our future in business, traveled a lot and played a lot. Our partnership ended when I joined BCCI as coach. His sudden demise shocked cricketing fraternity of Mumbai. May his soul rest in peace.
I didn't play cricket for a very long time, but whatever little cricket I played, my entire tenure with Dadar Union was totally under Ravi. And cricket for Dadar Union was a very difficult thing in terms of from outside in, everybody thought it's a lot of discipline and a lot of strict behavioral kind of a rule. But Avi was somebody who made it so easy for this entire generation. We have Salil, Sanjay, we all played, and we never felt that we are following some rule or some disciplinary code. He really made it easy with his, I think he was the loudest and the most wholehearted laughter that our, at least Mumbai cricket would have heard. But the moment you entered the ground, he was quite a hard taskmaster. There was no joking or no funny humor on the field at all. I have, when he kind of stopped playing professional cricket, he moved on to business. And that is where I had a little bit of a role following about him, because I stopped cricket sometime in the beginning of my career and I got into business. And Avi happened to be a little bit of a role model there, being a left-hander under whom we played. And as we get to hear that he was available to, so many 4, 5, 6 batches or 3 generations over there, there's a lot of family time that he might have spent on the cricketing ground. And we all cricketers would like to thank the family for giving us such a wonderful friend, captain, cricketer at the cost of that little time that he would spend on the ground. Okay, absolute. I wish the family with as fond memories that we have and all the happy kind of memories. Thank you.
Dear friends, we have all gathered here today to remember our dear friend Avi. And there are few speakers who went before me and who have mentioned his close connection with the union. And I'm going to extend that a little bit and talk about how it meant to be on the sidelines, watching in on all the Dada Union players and watching them play their cricket the way they did. Much before Salil Dakar and Jitu Thakre and all of these players, Avi was a part of the, shall I say, quartet that met at my residence every Wednesday, sometimes Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, to discuss the strategy for the coming Kanga League matches. And the gentlemen who attended this meeting at my place were Marshal Patil and Suresh Pigli and Avi Karnik. And I used to be there providing the refreshments. And of course, I was allowed, in spite of the fact that it was a kind of a all-man ensemble. Yet I was made an exception, and I was allowed to participate and in all that, the strategizing that went on. Not that I spoke on strategy, but I was allowed to be there and listen to everybody and give them cups of tea. Because in those days it was only cups of tea that were important. And my son Jatin used to be like a little fly on the wall, and he used to absorb whatever cricket was being spoken about, and all these serious discussions that took place, I think, influenced him, and they are also embedded in his mind. And Avi used to be there very quiet, because the talking was done by Vasu, Marshal, with Suresh assenting, and of course Avi would pitch in. But in the presence of Marshal, they were always a little subdued. I don't know how I got included in all that, but I remember so many occasions when Avi was always at hand, always the very dependable friend, always the gentleman who had an infectious laughter and who would put everybody at ease. I remember once, and Vasu had this, I don't know, he wouldn't like it if I called it a jalopy, but it was an old Italian Fiat. And everyone would pile into that and go to the Maidans to play their Sunday cricket. And I don't know why, on one occasion, I was a part of that gang. I really don't remember what that occasion was. But we were somewhere outside CCI, and we were all squished inside. And Vasu was driving, and I was sitting in the center, and Avi was by the window. And suddenly there was smoke coming out of the car. And I was terrified. I said, oh good God, Vasu, काय होता है, तो आग लगते का काय गाडीला? And immediately Avi turned around to Vasu and said, थांबो, इथे बाजूला थांबो. And he opened the door and literally pushed me outside. He said, तू आधी बाहेर निघ, असं करून. So I still remember that. Of course it was nothing very serious and it was all taken care of, but it is one memory that stands in my mind as I stand before you today. His infectious laughter could be heard everywhere, and he was such a joy to be with. He was a very, very loyal and a very committed Dada Union member. And he was always extolled for that by all the seniors. And I remember when they used to win a match, the only celebration that they had was Avi and Vasu and all of them used to cross the road and go to Dippi's and drink chai. There was no celebration beyond drinking chai in those days. Life was so simple and so good. And Avi was such an integral part of the whole Dadar Union setup. I can't believe he's not there. He would pop in even after we lost Vasu, he would pop in and he would spend time with us. And in between I was away, and Sridhar Mandle called me up the other day and he said, do you know that Avi and I had come to your place and no one answered the door, and we went away. I said, why didn't you call me up? So he said, no, I suggested that to Avi that, let's phone up and see. I was attending a wedding in Chennai, so the entire family was not there. And we said, no, I can go again and meet Lalita, no problem, I can always drop in. He knew that Paransky always kept an open house. So he said, no, I'll go there again. But that was not to be, and that really, kind of hit me when I heard this unfortunate event. He was a great friend, a very, very loyal, very committed cricketer, an excellent cricketer, and I pray that he rests in peace. May peace be on his soul, and I offer my very sincere condolences to Anu and the children, and I'm sure he's in a better place, and I'm sure he is entertaining and cracking jokes with others and smiling down as usual. Thank you very much.